What? Trump is actually trying to win the gay vote, Lamau. I doubt that this is from Trump. Paid for by advancing our values. I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's like a DeSantis group or something, because that's like their strategy. The DeSantis group strategy is literally like, we want to kill gay people and Trump doesn't, so you should vote for us. Which is really weird because, like, I think he's forgetting. I think he's actually forgetting that you know, people like Trump more than they hate gay people. People like Trump more than they hate queer people. Like, the whole, like, anti-queer groomer shit is certainly insane. Has certainly gotten more popular support than I actually envisioned it getting, because who the fuck cares? Americans are too self-centered to care about other people, especially like gay people and trans people like that. But it definitely is way more popular now, especially online, than I thought it would be. But having said that, it's still not, you know, still not the single issue voter for normal people, for normal Republicans, which do exist. They might be fucking freaks, but ultimately they just don't care about like murdering trans people as much as the DeSantis people think they do. So yeah, there's a new DeSantis ad. I doubt that this is a new one. What is this? Oh, they are doing that. They're doing the whole, like, Trump doesn't fucking want to kill gay and trans people enough. Very weird that this is a campaign strategy for them.
Talk about transgender, everyone goes crazy. Who would have thought 5 years ago you didn't know what the hell it was?
Donald Trump made a controversial decision to allow a transgendered woman born as a man to compete in the Miss Universe beauty pageant.
He decided to lift a ban on a transgender woman from entering his Miss Universe competition.
This is really funny. Trump lets biological men compete against women. Okay. If you're talking about like possibly physical advances or advantages that trans women might have over cis women, that's one thing. But it's a fucking beauty contest. Like, what are you trying to say here? I mean, you're just basically coming out as a chaser? Is that what it is? You're just like, Donald Trump wants cis women to be completely eliminated because no cis woman can compete with a gawk? Girl cock? You know what I mean? Imagine the same slender, sexy, feminine physique, but then also in the swimsuit, you can just see the outline of a flaccid but still sizable girl cock. I mean, think about that. That's just, you can't compete with that. Mouth watering. Like, what the fuck? What is this argument? I actually want to know what this argument is. What is going on here? Like, you're saying that it's like when TERFs, who ironically consistently uphold patriarchal constructs on a regular basis, come out of the gates and get upset at like a trans woman winning Jeopardy and act like it's displacing cis women from winning Jeopardy. And it's like, so what are you trying to say? That a trans woman is actually a man and that men are just smarter than women? Is that what you're saying? Like, because that's a very odd thing to advocate for, to claim, to push for. It's such a weird thing to say. You're just like, the idea that trans women have a biological advantage in beauty pageants is so wild. It's like a wild thing to state. I don't get it. Like, this isn't even fucking swimming or whatever. You know what I mean? This is just straight up. This is just straight up saying, like, you know, trans women are just sexier than cis women. Sorry, cis lady.
I said, let her run. And I think I made the right decision. I feel fine with the decision.
I always knew since I was I started my therapy and hormone therapy when I was 14.
Yeah, like he's like, look, he's not misgendering her. I'm sorry. This is so fucking stupid, man. This is so profoundly idiotic. Why is this your argument? Like, if anything, this just, oh, fuck. This basically just means, like, he's polite, okay? If you were to, okay, let's dial it back for a second. In all of this anti-trans fervor, we have forgotten one fundamental thing here, okay? People only care about trans people getting kicked out of, like, spaces when it's tied to a concept of fairness, okay? An element of fairness. What's fair? Sports. It's the only institution, it's the only vertical that's fair, okay? Or is perceived as fair. So trans people, they have an unfair advantage. That's what they claim, right? But if you were to ask people individually, like, if a trans woman wants to be called her, would you, like, do that? Most people would probably do it on accident, really. If they wanted to be transphobic, they would still probably do it on accident, especially when it's you know, like a passing trans person. Not that it's the end all be all of transness, obviously, but that's it. Like, it's just basic politeness, right? So, I mean, you see it all the time. Ben Shapiro accidentally will correctly gender a trans person, catch himself in the act, stop, pause, and then misgender intentionally. Because not only is it polite, okay, it's no different than, like, refusing to call someone what their actual name is. Someone comes up to you and they're like, my name is John. You don't go, nah, man, you're not John. You're actually Mahmoud, okay? I'm just going to call you Mahmoud. Like, that's a very weird thing. Everyone else around you would be like, that's odd. Why are you doing that? That's like a weird thing that you're doing. And not only is it just basic politeness, but it also makes sense. It's common sense. Not misgendering a trans person is just common sense. Why is it common sense? Because there are plenty of trans women and trans men, like this trans person, this trans woman. You would never point to her in a crowd and misgender her. Like, you would never be like, hey, my backpack is next to that man over there, and point to this person and expect others to understand what you're saying. So it's counterintuitive. You're taking too many extra steps to hate. And Americans, the broader majority of Americans, are too lazy to do that. Okay? They're too lazy to do that. It's just not going to work. You're the one who's breaking actual conventions at that point, not vice versa. Because the argument is like, oh, trans women are breaking boundaries and they're, like, destroying social norms by getting you to call them women. It's like, well, not really. You're the one who's actually being weird about it now, because this person is objectively a woman, because gender, in the way that we understand it, is socially conditioned. It's a social phenomena. It's the skin you wear on top of what is inside of you, right? So, like, you would never in a million years go to the lengths of, like, trying to see if she has a penis, or even if she had bottom surgery, let's say, look to find out what her chromosomes are to correctly fucking gender this person in your mind, or to misgender this person in your mind. Like, no one is going to go to those lengths unless they're fucking insane. And the reality is, there are certainly a lot of Matt Walsh style Republicans out there who watch a lot of Matt Walsh, and they are that insane. But ultimately, they're not going to, most Americans are not going to do that. It's just so stupid. It's so silly. It's so dumb. Okay?
hormone therapy when I was 14.
Must have been terribly painful.
Surgery is pretty intense.
It was obvious to us that she was entitled to compete.
Like, obvious he was entitled to compete, and then you show her, hey, idiot. If you do that, if you show her pretty ass fucking face and then turn around and go, but Trump wasn't misgendering her, he's not the one who looks bad here. It's you. You're the one who looks bad. You look stupid. Like your expectation here is that everyone is going to be a Matt Walsh style psychopath. And that is far from the truth. Most people just don't give a shit. They have apathy and they don't give a shit. So it's a delicate balance that you need to strike where you only advocate against trans existence from the perspective of like fairness. That's why the bathroom bills in North Carolina failed, if you remember. They failed spectacularly because people did not care about it enough. They weren't like, what the fuck? You want to stop like 3 people from refusing to go into the bathroom? Like, okay, that's really weird. It did not work. And at the time, Trump literally was like, no one cares. Just keep it the way it is. Shut the fuck up. Okay? So they had to go back to the drawing board and find a way to exclude trans people from public spaces. And how did they do that? Well, they focus grouped it. They tested it. They saw what Americans respond and give a reaction to. And what Americans gave a reaction to wasn't necessarily trans people existing in society alongside cis people. But what they gave a reaction to was as long as it was paired up with the concept of fairness. Somehow they were doing something that was unequal. Somehow they were doing something that was fucked up and eroding the concept of meritocracy, which Americans desperately cling on to, even though it's false. Thank you, Themasius, for the playlist. And that's why they went back to the drawing board and they came out with a much more successful focus grouped strategy of attacking trans people from the perspective of participating in fucking sports. Okay? That's the only thing that's popular. That's the only thing that has like broad support. And even then it's idiotic and it's still it's still heavily pushed by every type of media, which is part of the reason why that rhetoric has like stuck. But it's never trans people existing that is the main motivator. It's the main motivator for all these Christian groups that are backing this kind of stuff. But for the broader majority, it's never just like purely trans people existing that frustrates people. Which is why, and I go back to this again and again, there's 2 reasons that this video is actually really interesting to me. Number one is it comes with the recognition that like trans women have inherent biological factors that make them hotter, because this is what this competition is. This competition is literally a beauty pageant. So I guess that's how you feel. And 2, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break, and we're fucking back. And if you want the uninterrupted experience of the HasanAbi broadcast, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Okay, the real second talking point, however, that is now behind the 3-minute ad break. Whew, that was good. Thank you, Baba Yaga, for the 5 gifted subs. Where was I? It's on the dot, too. You motherfuckers didn't recognize. Y'all had no idea it was coming. Damn, I'm going to sit here and gloat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Broken rib, too. Strawberry Cake Pop Fanatic, thank you for the 5 gifted. The last point I want to make is this. This shit's not about fairness in sports at all. Okay? Because if you're talking about like the popular notion that like, oh man, 3 trans girls in the entire state of I don't know, Kansas are going to participate in high school athletics and we need to stop that. That's one thing. I still think it's stupid. But if you're talking about a fucking beauty pageant that Trump's putting on and you're upset about that, then all of a sudden we realize it has nothing to do with like unfairness or biological advantages at all, and everything to do with stopping trans people from existing in society. Ooh, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. And Quadman1963, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, allowing 25 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. This is not even a 9 out of 10. Wait, really? Oh, dude, people are fucking... Okay, you guys are actually liars. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. You gave me a 887. Chat is going crazy. You're so salty. You're salty. The salt is out of control. Some people in here just always put 0 out of 10 every single time. Yeah. People don't care about fair. We've got no problem throwing sick people out on the street for losing their job, but God forbid trans people do sports. Self-sucking is TOS, by the way. Okay, whatever. The fact that they feel emboldened enough to be this transparent about their goal of excluding trans people from public life is concerning. I think this pushes back on it, though. Hold on one second.
It's obvious to us that she was entitled to compete.
Would you feel it would be fair that a transgender woman wins the Miss USA title over a natural-born woman?
There's so many surgeries, and I do accept that.
She gave a great answer, and she really did a great job.
In the future, can transgender women compete in Miss Universe?
Yes.
And where was Donald Trump a decade ago? He was on the complete opposite side of this issue.
Little Rhonda. Text Rob. Says to be the worst campaign strategy of all time. Yeah. I'm back on my bullshit. Back on my sweet green shit. I just don't think that there's enough animosity, no matter how much anti-trans hatred you see. This doesn't hit the fucking like this is not who gives a shit. Like, you think this is a national winner? Talking about fucking trans people participating in beauty pageants? Really? That's what you're upset about? Not recognizing that is literally what moderates how Trump won moderates.